Good evening, everybody. This is Brian or Bear, depending on where you know me from. Tonight, we're going to be discussing, this friendly neighborhood gamer, of course. We're going to be discussing persistent board games, legendary games that basically, when you do something, it stays in the game and continues on forward. The first one we have on the chopping block tonight is Arydia. You guys may have saw my post a couple weeks back where I got my copy in the mail. It's Far Off Games. Cody Miller. There's somebody else there written in very small letters. Apparently not important because I did have a bigger name. Look at the size of this box. It's just chock full of stuff. We have the majority of it off to the side there. But what we're going to kind of look at tonight is the things that kind of draw your interest. This is an adventure RPG. The game has conversation trees, which use the card system. Each one of these boxes is just chock full of cards, and as each one has a certain type of deck. The enemy deck, key item deck, the day deck, because time will be progressing, point of interest, NPCs. I mean, it's just a lot of things going on, and as you progress through the game, you'll be adding cards to the deck or removing cards so that the world's changing with you. There are a multitude of classes in the game. The two that Cool Blue is using in his copy for his playthrough is the Path of Shadow, which is kind of like a rogue, and the Path of the Arcane, which is similar to like a mage. Again, there are skill trees in this game, so with the rogue, or the Path of Shadow, you might go sneaky and backstabby, or you might go traps. There's more options than just that. Those are just the first two that come to mind. With the Path of the Arcane, we have basically you could be like a spell sword, or you could be an arcane wizard. You could be an elemental wizard. It just kind of like it boils down to it. I'm going to show more the Path of Shadow because he's kind of got that character filled out more. First and foremost, I kind of just want to draw your attention to these character sheets. Now, I don't know if you can see this, but each one of these things is a little cardboard cutout that fits perfectly into your character sheet. You got a little paper doll here, pants, shirt, helmet, shoulders, weapons, traps. I mean, you got your HP, your magic, stamina. I mean, it's just the way this game fits together, just really, chef's kiss. Mwah. As you progress in levels, you can increase your stats. Everything kind of moves around. Oh, thank you for fixing that, Cool Blue. I do have friends. See, that proves it. Then there's the tree of skills. As you progress in levels, you can show if you've mastered something or if you've got the skill but yet to master it. You can see the arrows going. It's really well put together game. I don't want to be so crude as to say it's D&D on rails, but it definitely is something nice if you don't have a GM and you want to try it. I think currently this game is going for $250 if you're able to find it. It's got what do you say, 9.8 on Board Game Geek? 9.3. Not quite as good as I thought it was. This is the Overland map. Man, triple layered cardboard. As you discover things, you click it, it pops up. You're able to pull it out, flip it over. It's just so well created, so well developed. Yeah, currently it's going for $240. As you progress, you'll move your marker around the world. Once you go to these places, didn't want to pull out a map, but you'll be able to pull them out, zoom in on the area. It comes with fully painted models that are customizable with the race that you choose. I just can't say enough positive things about this game. I highly recommend it. If you can get your hands on a copy or find a friend who has one, do whatever you can to play it. All right, we're going to move on to our next game. The second game we're going to cover tonight is Oath. It's done by Cole Weirl. This is from the makers of Root. If you have played Root, excellent game, very well put together asymmetrical war game where everybody's playing a different class. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about Oath. This, while it is a war game, it is so much more. Every game of Oath is telling a story that affects the rest of the story that's coming up beforehand. The players are going to be whoever won the last game is going to be the Chancellor. They're basically the Emperor, the bad guy, the King, whoever. Maybe they're the good guy, and they finally beat it's your story to tell. The other players are going to be playing one of these other classes, and there's no difference. If you're not at the end of the last game, if you were for that Chancellor, you could be a citizen of his kingdom or their kingdom. If you were against them, then you could be in exile. And there's just different win conditions on either one. This game plays 1 to 6 people according to the box. If you are playing 1 to 2 players, then you're going to use the mechanics that Cole does so well with the clockwork characters. And they have if this happens, then I do this kind of AI system. If you're playing with 3 or more, then a player will be the bad guy, will be the Chancellor. So let's look at the map. So you've got 3 areas. You've got the cradle, you've got the provinces, and then you got the hinterlands. And at the beginning of the game, you're going to put out different locations for each of these. The ones that the Chancellor previously was in control of will be face up. Like so, we'll just give an example. And the cards that were in there, sorry, it's a neoprene mat. I do love the neoprene mat, but they do tend to, when you roll them up, do that. The cards that were already placed there will be next to it. The ones that were not there will be face down. And when you go and survey that area or discover the area, you'll flip it over and you'll get to see what cards pop up. There are different factions of the natives that live in this land. Each one will have a stack of currency on them, and as you play their cards, they can give you money, or as you do actions with their cards on the board, you give them money. So it's got a living economy. It's just such an in-depth game that you're growing with your friends. I highly recommend that if you play this game, you nominate someone to be the recorder, the chronicler, if you will. And just basically shorthand what happens on each turn to each player, what their actions are. So at the end, you guys can come up with a group narrative about the world that you've created and what happened during that game. The artwork, again, Cole always comes up with this great artwork for his games. It's a pretty complex game, but once you get it down, it's pretty nice. Board Game Geek gives it a 7.8. I feel like it's because of it's a particular taste. There are some games that your character is not doing anything for the story in this game. Instead, you're setting up for the next game where it could be your story. So therefore, you're kind of a background character in this actual game. And so that's not for everybody. Some people can't take a step back and let other people be the main character in a story. And that's okay. If everybody doesn't have a chance to win, then some people don't feel like that's a good game. I understand that. But the fact that it's a group narrative telling a story through combat, intrigue, political, I think it's a great game. All right, well, we're going to move on to the next one. Hello again. Our third game we're going to talk about tonight is Sleeping Gods. Beautiful artwork. Again, I rarely see a game that doesn't have good artwork, but I really enjoyed this. Here's the cover. It's done by it's 1 to 4 players. It's done by Ryan Lacotte. Essentially, this game, it's a full co-op. It's got you're trying to get home. You're going to be using your ship and moving around map. You're giving the this map here in the beginning, but it doesn't give you a lot of information. But as you zoom in on each portion, you'll see that there are multiple places you can go. Your choices throughout the game are impactful. Very open world design. You can go anywhere you want, any direction you want, at any level. It may be good, that may be bad. You're basically trying to do quests to wake up the gods. And once you do, you're able to hopefully get out of these lands. You'll be in control of 9 different characters. You got your captain. Just make sure I'm in frame. And then these other 8 characters. I'm already making mistakes. With 4 players, you would control, each player would control 2 players. And then the captain is a free-floating character that everybody can kind of control. And then you would kind of just divvy it down as you go. The combat is a puzzle game, whereas everything else is just making decisions, and those decisions are very impactful on the world. Do you let the village burn, or do you save the village? Do you save this person, or do you not save that person? And there'll be repercussions throughout the game. Overall, I give this a moment in the spotlight because of the store building, because of the things you're going on. Over 200 quests. I don't want to open this up too much because I don't want to give away spoilers. But you go to a location, you go to the number, you read the decision, you choose option A or option B, option C, and it impacts the world around you. Again, the combat being a little puzzly. Some people enjoy that, some people don't. But the world building aspect of this and the open world aspect is top notch. I really highly recommend this. If you also look at the characters, very diverse crew. It's not all straight white men on the boat. And they're very. This one looks like Zoe from Firefly. This man has a magnificent beard. They all have complete and full backstories. They're not just one-sided characters. Cool blue. Flipping that over so that we can see Captain Sophie Odessa's backstory. But I highly recommend this game for the story. Well, in closing for this evening, I'm going to talk that basically I'm offering up my synopsis of these games so you can get an idea for it. See if you would want to buy them for your own collection. They have been vetted by myself or Cool Blue. We are giving their scores. This one got an 8.2 out of 10 on Board Game Geek. And we only recommend games usually that are 7 or above. I think Cool Blue's a little more specific with his, but I'm a little more lenient with mine. I'm offering my services here online as a GM, basically to run tabletop games. If you needed a game run at your own house or a situation and nobody wants to run it, I offer that service for a small fee. Also, if there's a complicated board game that you would like to run for your friend group and you don't have the bandwidth to learn it and or run it, I'm offering that service as well. Make sure that you follow my Facebook for any updates, and reach out to me through Facebook Messenger if you're interested in that service. Hope you guys have a great evening, and I'll see you next time.